would just enable the stream key, but it's been months and months. They just don't want to. Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. This is supposed to be daily, but I skipped a couple days because I did it for like 9 days straight. So probably have to tune back a little bit of the daily schedule. Maybe 4 times a week is probably more reasonable. Because at some point we run out of stuff to cover as well. Like if we do an hour every day. But yeah, welcome to another live stream hosted by yours truly, Virtual Bacon. And every day, well, whenever we do go live, it's 12 p.m. PST or 7 p.m. GMT or UTC time. And usually we go over exact same topics. So Bitcoin analysis, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance analysis. And then we go through the trending narratives with altcoins that I'm personally watching and holding right now. Taking into account, if any of them have hit take profit targets, or if any are currently, in a dip and are good entry opportunities. So I personally like to go through kind of by narrative and also by market cap. So going by the highest market cap to the lower. This way you have a range of risk tolerance that you can, fit yourself into, right? Because the lower the market cap, more risky the asset. But aside from that, it's pretty much it that we're going to cover today. So we're live right now on YouTube, Twitter, and our Discord. So welcome everyone. Let me know if the sound is good, or see if you have any problems. Send them in event chat. Otherwise, let's get it started, because today is going to be a good day because markets are pumping. So, okay, just let me go ahead and share screen here. Entire screen. Here we go. And let me change it to kind of analysis. Okay. So first off, Bitcoin analysis, right? We've been following the same entry and very key bottom line to watch, right, for the past 2 weeks. And that entry range is from 38K to 42K, right? We said this range is the 200 daily EMA, around the 21 weekly EMA, excuse me, as well as the consolidation range right here we had in end of July to first week of August, right? We had about 7 days where we were in this range. So this now forms a very significant support range. And we said, okay, I personally, right, will be targeting 38 to 42K, right? This overall range is entry. And then at the bottom of the range here, 38K, right? That would be our bottom line for a stop loss, because in a healthy uptrend where we need to see higher highs and higher lows, right? So this here was the previous higher low. So on this dip, right, we needed it to stay above this previous low here at 38. So that's why I said, okay, even though we have entries in this range, if it clearly closes below 38, then this would be an exit signal there, right? Because at that point, the trend is broken. But so far, right, we had a lot of entry opportunities here, and look at that. This today, right? Luckily, right, markets are starting to bounce back. So all of those dip buying that we did for the past 2 weeks really starting to pay off. So this is Bitcoin. Again, super good. Obviously, 2 key levels that we still need to take out for this rally to kind of continue. Here at 47.8, let's say 48K, right? And then at 52.5, right? So 2 resistances there. And then once we take these 2 out, it's going to be very interesting, because that effectively says, okay, since the bottoms we had here at 30K, right, we had a bit of a medium-term rally, right, with higher highs and higher lows. Then we had a bit of a medium-term correction, right, like that, but it stayed above the previous higher low. So this is how you can treat it currently, as still just a correction. And once this can clear the previous high that we made on this recent rally at 42.5, 42.6K, then this is going to rally much higher and very, very likely to break the all-time high, right? So obviously we're not there yet, so still not completely in the clear, but so far so good, right? Our entries from 38 to 42 has been super promising, and very happy that that's playing out. So that's Bitcoin. Then let's move on to Ethereum. So for Ethereum, same thing, very similar, right? Because Ethereum and most major altcoins follow closely Bitcoin. So as you can see here, we had these levels drawn for the past 2 weeks, right around 2.9K, right? This was resistance here, support here, and now acted as support here again. So we said anything close to or below 2.9K is going to be an entry for me personally. And you see we're starting to bounce back. Really good. I don't have any strict targets for ETH, right? ETH is a very, very long-term bag for me. So as long as Bitcoin stays above 38K, right, I'll continue to hold my ETH position. Yeah, really not much to say there. It's this move is mostly, just watching how Bitcoin is starting to pump, so ETH naturally will follow suit. Something more interesting to watch is ETH versus BTC, right? As you can see here, this is gives us a much clearer picture, right, of ETH performance against BTC. So you see here, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? So this is a ratio chart, and the key level to watch that we talked about many times is this higher low here at 0.065. So with this chart, you see that, okay, even though for the past like half a day or so, right, Bitcoin has pumped, ETH has pumped both dollar-wise, this ETH BTC chart is still just going sideways. So this means that even though markets are overall coming back and looking stronger than the past week, ETH at the very least is just following, right? It's not leading. So it's going up the same amount. It's gone up the same amount as Bitcoin. So in this case, it's not a bad thing, right? It's not a negative signal, but it certainly isn't like super bullish for ETH over Bitcoin, right? So that's why, I haven't changed any positions for my long term. I'm still just holding BTC and ETH, and it's treating them as both very long term, but haven't picked up more ETH because it still hasn't shown like its individual strength yet, right? But that's short term speaking again. And also key to watch, right? This higher low here, right? So even though markets are overall going up, right? You have Bitcoin going up, Ethereum going up. If this ETH versus BTC chart ends up breaking down below the previous higher low, this would mean that at least in this rally, right, Bitcoin is leading while Ethereum is lagging when this happens, if this happens, right? So if this does happen, I'll probably end up picking up more Bitcoin and less Ethereum. This is just a very general strategy that I've been employing for quite a while. It's just when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, both are long term, but whichever one that I hold more of depends on ETH versus BTC, right? So we need to see consistently ETH outperforming Bitcoin in order for it to make sense. But so far, right, nothing to worry about just yet, right? This is still just a bull flag, technically speaking, because we are above the previous higher low. So still holding both my Bitcoin and Ethereum positions. That I didn't particularly add on this dip because I have enough exposure, but if you did, from 38 to 42K for Bitcoin and Ethereum right around 2.9K, then kudos to you, right? That has been in my opinion, a really good call. Next up, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Interesting chart here. Okay, so right off the bat, right, very clearly, Bitcoin dominance still in a long-term downtrend, right? This is every time I have to make sure I tell you guys this so that you're not mistaken for my view versus in the very short term for Bitcoin dominance versus long term, right? So since the beginning of the year, right, until May, this was one very significant downtrend, followed by 2 months of consolidation and a brief correction, and now we are in a second leg of the downtrend. So I still think Bitcoin dominance is in a very clear long-term downtrend. However, in the short term, right, we do have this breakout above the neckline here now. So we have been watching this inverse head and shoulders for, again, 2 weeks, right? About a week and a half. I think that's when we started to have this. And we said, okay, even though long-term Bitcoin dominance going down, altcoins are going up, in the very short term, right, we could see even better buying opportunities for altcoins across the board, because we're seeing this potential inverse head and shoulders playing out here, right? So in order for this to be confirmed, we said, okay, the neckline here at 42.5% needed to be broken, in which case this inverse head and shoulders, right, breakout retests at the 42.5 I would take that as an entry and target around 45% for Bitcoin dominance. So this doesn't mean that I'm selling any altcoins, quite the contrary, right? I'm simply seeing this as an opportunity to, okay, free up some cash so that I'm ready for this, I would say impending dip in altcoins, right? So that we can pick it up for cheaper, at least myself personally. Now, this is not like dollar value going down, right? Instead, it's Bitcoin value going down, right? So because this is Bitcoin dominance, right? Not overall market cap. So now that we have broken above this neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, right? I would expect Bitcoin dominance to kind of move up towards the 45% level. What does this mean? It means in the short term, at least for next couple weeks, we could see Bitcoin leading the rest of the altcoin market. So this gives me really good confidence to say in about 1-2 weeks, right, I will probably pick up more altcoins with my Bitcoin for cheaper. This is kind of my plan for this. Obviously, if you are long-term, if you see this as a long-term reversal for Bitcoin dominance, then this would be a signal to take profit for altcoins. But I just don't see that, right? In the long term, I do think altcoins have much more upside to go, even against Bitcoin. So yeah, this overall is a really good sign for me then in this case, because I have capital ready to buy more altcoins. Yeah, so this is key to watch. So, but in the very short term, right, I would say if you are holding a lot of altcoins, this is not a take profit exit signal, right? Quite the contrary, it's just a shorter term dip. If you are holding fiat, I would say, or Bitcoin, right, and been on the sidelines waiting to get into altcoins, then I would say this is a really good signal, because very soon you'll have really good opportunities to get into altcoins. And that's how I'm going to be playing this, right? So I'm still holding all my altcoin positions, but in about, not even in about, but just over the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be hunting a lot of altcoins that are on dips still. So yeah, and this will directly tie into the altcoin picks we'll talk about, which, like, let's get into that right now. So let's just do a brief overview of the layer 1 ecosystems again, right? So just to reiterate, that's Cardano, Solana, AVAX, Luna, Algorand, Elrond, Near, Phantom, right? All these layer 1 ecosystems, layer 1 networks are in a very hot trend right now. So let's go over them individually. So just going by the market cap rankings, right? First off, we have Cardano, and zooming out to daily, right? So I was mostly targeting something like $1.50 to enter this. Obviously, if you are holding Cardano, I wouldn't advise selling, but and I don't even think we would visit these $1.50 levels, but just purely, for myself personally, the risk to reward here isn't too clear to me when in comparison to other layer 1 networks. So should Cardano continue going up? Yeah, I could see that. But I don't currently have any. simply because, you know, I didn't get into it very early, right, at these pre-breakout levels. So now, you know, even if I enter right now, my potential downside is something like, you know, mapping back to kind of the, I would say, more legit previous all-time high around $1.50, right? I treat these breakouts as kind of fake outs. So looking at something like 33% stop loss, which is not ideal, right? So there are better picks out there for me personally, just because I don't have a position yet. But if you do have a Cardano position, I don't think this rally has exhausted itself, because altcoins are clearly, you know, coming back now that Bitcoin is starting to rally. So yeah, so far so good. Then along with that, right, is Solana, right? Really good sign that Solana is pumping, kind of leading the market yet again. Again, I don't have any Solana because I wasn't able to manage to get into it at these lower levels pre-breakout, right? So how I've been treating this is if I entered right around this consolidation, then my potential downside is something like 60% to the previous all-time high. So again, not hating on it, right? Fundamentally, it's a great project, and I have no doubt that it'll continue to rally. However, I always have to look at the risk to reward, and if I cannot have very controlled downside, then these levels don't make sense to me personally, right? But if you've been holding a position since very low, then like your downside is like much lower. So in that case, like, yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about. Just continue riding the trend, because the trend is clear, right? So we had lows here, we had a higher low here, and then this higher low is way above this previous higher low. So nothing to worry about there at all for this for Solana's uptrend. But just now moving on to some picks that I have been watching and getting into. So first off, at the market cap rankings is AVAX. So right off the bat, you can see this is a way better risk to reward, right? The entries we made around $55, right? The previous all-time high. And see this here. So we had two significant, like, this was what? 3 days of entries, right? No, 4 days. Where 5 days of entries where we could have picked up around this level. And so far, so good, right? First high low is being made. So looking really good. And just to give an example, right? So how is this better risk to reward? Because this is just broken above its all-time high, right? So if you take the same kind of analysis where you stop loss if it breaks below the all-time high, and set some sort of any stop loss below within this range, or even below the previous higher low, right? This is much better risk to reward than Cardano and Solana, right? So that's kind of what I see, right? So this is a play that makes sense for me personally, given the price levels that these ecosystems are at right now. So then moving on to similar picks in with this kind of analysis. We have Luna, right? Same thing. This is a layer 1 network. All-time highs around $23, $24, right? Great pickup, and you know, very limited downside, right? Something like this, right? Way better than Solana's case. And yeah, so far so good, right? Bouncing from the previous all-time high. And then some more examples. I'll go USDT. Let's just go through them all very quickly. Yeah, I'll go starting to bounce back as well. Still within the buy range around $1.70, I would say. So yeah, Algorand, another good ecosystem to bet on. Phantom, same thing, right? Previous all-time high around 94 cents here. Bounce back from it. And yeah, now that Bitcoin's coming back, rally starting. What else do we have? Cosmos, so Atom. Same thing, right? Previous all-time high around $30. First bounce there, and then second higher low is being made as we speak. So yeah, Cosmos also looking good. What else do we have? Near. Okay, yeah. This is also within the buy range, right? Right around $7.30-ish. So this is not as strong as something like AVAX Algo Atom, AVAX Luna Atom, right? I would say AVAX Luna Atom have clearly broken above the previous all-time high and printed a higher low already, whereas near Algorand and maybe Elrond, let's see. This is, yeah, near Algorand, Elrond. I will probably put Harmony on that list. Yeah, near Algorand, Elrond, Harmony. These are all also layer 1 networks, but they are not as good, just price performance wise, in this kind of layer 1 trend, because they haven't broken above the previous all-time high yet, right? So given all of the narrative being trendy, these guys are still kind of lagging behind. So the strongest performance so far is clearly ADA, Solana, right? So not hating on them, but it's just like I cannot limit my stop loss to get a good entry right now. So that's the only reason why I don't have them right now at these current levels. And then the ones that do give good entries and are already starting its rallies, right? AVAX, Atom, Luna, yeah, those three. Phantom, AVAX, Luna, Atom, Phantom, right? These four are leading. In comparison to Algorand, Elrond, and Harmony, these are and Near. These are kind of lagging behind a little bit because they haven't broken above the previous all-time high, even though it is in an uptrend, right, with higher lows. It isn't as strong, I would say. Just pure price performance, right? Not judging by any of the fundamental differences. So yeah, this is why I'll probably be picking up more AVAX, Luna, Cosmos, and Phantom, but probably will ditch Harmony, Near, Algorand, Elrond. Yeah, so because I'm starting to see kind of winners versus losers starting to be playing out. So yeah, so that's a overlook of the entire layer 1 network ecosystem that are live right now, right? And then let's move on to dot ecosystem, right? This is very interesting because this ecosystem itself deserves all the attention that simply because its fundamentals are super strong in the next quarter. So this is a very interesting actually, because over the past week or so, right, I have been very bullish on DOT fundamentally because of the DOT crowd loans. But looking at the price, right, this was very clear head and shoulders here, right, like this. So I was waiting for a potential breakdown here, and if that did happen, I would target something like $18 to enter. However, that did not happen, right? In fact, we are seeing another rally from this. So this is another good lesson to learn, that when watching head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders, like the one we had looked at on Bitcoin dominance, right, the neckline needs to be broken in order for the head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders to be confirmed, right, the pattern. So this is looking really good, actually, even better, because I'm overall bullish on DOT for its fundamentals, for the crowd loans happening likely in the next quarter, for all the ecosystem, DOT, Kusama, and Substrate to pick up, right? This is really good because I would have preferred for it to actually not dip and just kind of ignore the pattern, and it did. So I still don't have any DOT yet, but I'm very, very closely watching this. And in fact, I'll probably be picking up if it can break out of this range. So me try to find an entry here. Yeah, I'd say the ideal case is a breakout above, let's say 38. Yeah. So since this inverse head and shoulders hasn't played out, I'm not too keen on picking up within the range, but if it can show me that even in the short term, it disregards the inverse head and shoulders pattern and clearly invalidates it, then breakout above 38, I'd probably pick up at this level. Now you might say, okay, what are you talking about? Like if you think that's going to happen, might as well get it here, right? But that's not what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is if this happens, then the strength is there. But since it hasn't happened just yet, right? What we could likely see is even a third shoulder here, right? To come back down and even break below that, right? Obviously, while it's still within this range, right? It either breaks above the range and I'm able to enter here, or if it breaks below and breaks below the neckline, then I would target much lower for an entry, right? But you have to consider all scenarios, right? And wait for the actual confirmation to play out before you make an entry, right? Whether that's very short term, just like straight up strength, or bit of a dip buying opportunity, both could happen. So still staying patient, right? Waiting for that right entry opportunity. But yeah, this is one that I'm at the top of my watch list right now, literally on my CoinStats app. It's DOT. Because yeah, I think the DOT KSM substrate ecosystem will be the leaders in Q4 in terms of like speculation, price performance, where the narrative will be. So yeah, that's DOT. I don't see any clear entries right now, but I'll let you guys know when it does. Okay, moving on to some individual altcoin picks and DeFi plays, right? That we have luckily been accumulating and are doing really well right now. Let's go on CoinMarketCap. Yeah, here we go. So two narratives we were super into, right? First off is bridges. With this kind of multi-chain future with so many layer ones we just discussed, all of them need bridges, especially with optimistic roll-up type of bridges, right? You need a good bridge because the native one just isn't good, at least the one right now on Arbitrum. So one, my favorite bridge play in this was Synapse. So ticker is SYN. And I think we can find the chart on DEX tools, in fact. Let me just let that load. But major funds have been buying right around average entry of $1.40-ish. And you see for the past week or so, it's been right around $1.40, right? So I've been accumulating a lot in these ranges. Now it's $1.70. I still think it's very undervalued, to be honest. So yeah, gonna be picking up even more Synapse. And probably find a chart here for you guys. Is it on any centralized exchanges yet? Just so that we can chart it. Not really. Okay, so that's Synapse. Another one is Joel. So let me print this. Okay, here we go. Send. Oh, it's number 4 trending. That's cool. That's cool. Show live data. Okay. Yeah. So say 4 hour. Yeah. Really healthy, to be honest. I really don't know what to say. Like $1.40 range is great pickup. In fact, if we really wanted to chart it for a very short term, there was this kind of sideways range that we were in. Let me take away the magnet tool there. Something like that. And then bottom of the range right around there, right? You see uptrend, right? Then short-term downtrend, make a bottom, which was around the previous higher low here, and then start to respect that bottom, going sideways, 1, 2, 3 tests, right? And especially here, this is something interesting, right? Brush tool. Can we not here? So first we make a low, and then another lower low, and then here. So this is technically speaking inverse head and shoulders, right? And then a third shoulder, break out the neckline, now testing the neckline, right? And we can make this neckline kind of fit all the way here, right? You see that much more clearly. So yeah, man, I'm definitely loading right around $1.70. Yeah, probably right after this call, I'll go buy more. And you see this actually dates back to previous range as well. Very, very interesting. So right here, right? See this previous consolidation here, right? Where we had a bit of sideways support, resistance, right? Those levels are used again as support and resistance. And within this range, where we had first low, second lower low fake out, and then a higher low and another higher low being printed, breakout retest of the neckline. So very textbook pattern. So yeah, I'm definitely loading signups right here around $1.70. Cool. So that's signups. Another one is Joel. Chartx.pro. So this is the leading decentralized exchange and pretty much the only leading ecosystem project in the AVAX ecosystem. All of the other coins that we reviewed on the AVAX ecosystem are underperforming the AVAX coin itself, except for Joel. Right, so let's get Joel USD first. Yeah, so far so good. Still respecting previous higher low right around here. But what's really key to watch here is Joel versus AVAX. Okay, so not as bullish as the all-time high breakout right around here, right? I would ideally wanted to see this being respected and just bounce and take out these highs, but I don't think this is too much to worry about yet. We should zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, still nothing too concerning, right? So in an uptrend, right, you want to see, again, higher highs and higher lows. So here we had uptrend. Let me just here draw this, right? So this was the uptrend. Here we made a higher high, higher low, another higher low, and then here we did make a higher high. So the most bullish case in a very strong rally is if the after the higher high is made, the higher low just bounces from the previous higher high, right? This would be the most bullish type of trends. However, that doesn't necessarily need to be an invalidation signal, right? So the real invalidation signal is if the here the higher low breaks below the previous lows, right? So that's the invalidation. So still nothing to worry about yet. Yeah. So, and keep in mind that this is a chart of Joel versus AVAX, right? Not Joel's price USD chart. So what this tells us is merely, okay, is Joel outperforming AVAX coin itself and the entire ecosystem? And looking at this right now, it still is, right? It's still in a clear uptrend. So great buying opportunity here, in my opinion. Yeah. So, okay. Looking back at the chart, $3.40, 200 million market cap. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. I really don't see it. As long as AVAX ecosystem continues, its rally, like people need to, the AVAX degens will need to put their money somewhere, right? So there really isn't much choices right now. It's Joel. It's time is doing okay, right? but it's a bit more difficult to understand because it's a rebasing coin. But Joel, right, the leading decentralized exchange, its price is going up as well. So yeah, I really don't see this slowing down. So I'll still accumulate more Joel. And then lastly, another one that I'm holding and probably adding more of is Spell. So this has already given us quite a healthy rally. I think it's on here if I can find it. Come on, let me zoom out here. Spell. Oh, this is also trending. Sin is number 8, Spell is number 9 trending. That's cool. Okay. And get this chart. Great. Yeah. So we have these levels drawn from last 2 weeks. So Spell is a multi-chain, multi-collateral equivalent of MakerDAO. Yeah. So these are all the charts we've drawn for the past 2 weeks. So major resistance here turned into support as we broke above it. And then here we had just a series of higher lows, right? One here, higher one above this, higher one above this above this. This, technically speaking, is a bit more sideways, but now we've broken above that. So super good. In fact, we are, again, in that all-time high breakout type of pattern here, right? If you map this to like right there, right? This was the previous all-time high, and you see we're starting to break above that. Let me just make sure that that's indeed the all-time high. It is. So yeah, when a coin breaks above the previous all-time high and comes down for a retest, that is not FOMO. That is typically a good entry opportunity, because if you entered somewhere here, right, you will have to set your stop somewhere here below the previous low. However, if you're trading this breakout retest, then you can set your stop loss just below the previous all-time high. So that's what makes a good entry, right? Is limited downside. So yeah, that's 0.45 cents. Yeah. If we do get a breakout here, I'd probably add to this position. Yeah. Was there any questions? Let me just make sure. I want to make sure that I wasn't kind of talking to myself and you guys couldn't hear me. Okay, no. Looks good. So yeah, Joel, Spell, Synapse, right? 3 that I'm holding literally in my wallet right now, and we'll be adding more of. Very closely watching DOT. This is honestly great to see, like, it being so strong. So if we break above 37, I'd probably add on the retest. What else? Someone said, yeah, let's just do Q&As, right? Because oh yeah, Temple DAO. So Temple DAO is, if you watch my latest TikTok video, it's a kind of combination of Olympus DAO and Yearn Finance. So Olympus DAO makes money by selling the OM tokens to get, you know, either liquidity or stablecoins into the treasury, and then it issues the rewards, as not even rewards, but revenue to all of the stakers. This has been the true innovation there. So Olympus is great, but they really are just acting as a protocol to allow DeFi projects to bootstrap liquidity and incentivize liquidity. So it's a better model than like a typical farming, LP farms, but they don't have a lot of like revenue generation mechanisms. But Temple DAO, on the other hand, when you compare to Olympus, it doesn't just generate money by you know, getting liquidity into the protocol, into the treasury. Instead, it also invests all the treasury's assets into stuff like, you know, stablecoin farms, you know, LP farms like Bitcoin and ETH. It might do staking. It can invest in other projects, right? It really depends on the protocol. So this way, I think that's the next, step for to innovate on top of Olympus's direction. I'm super bullish on this project, if you couldn't tell already, because like my last 3 TikTok videos were about this. I'll probably make even more videos about this, but part of that reason is because I want to be able to get into this. Yeah, they're rolling out again. Another good thing for this is that their launch process, it's been one of the fairest and most interesting that I've seen, because they don't have any private sales. They don't have like VCs. Even like large influencers and with big audience like myself can't really easily get in. You really have to understand the project. You have to talk about it in a either fun way, or you have to show your understanding of the project, how you're in it for the long term. And on top of that, right, it doesn't depend on your influence. It really depends on how much you're willing to support a project, right? How dedicated are you for the project? So this is why most of the people that they've onboarded so far, some are influencers, but also many more are just their early community members that posted all kinds of explainers about the project, talk to different people about it, help them code, help them manage Discord, build their website, all kinds of stuff. So the way they're launching this is like super fair. So this is what attracts me a lot too. So and on top of that, right, even if like, let's say I make 10 videos and they notice me finally, and then they're like, okay, like you clearly know what you're talking about and we appreciate all the videos, even then I will get the same entry as all just the community members, because like you can put at most $1,000 in, right? And then in this like early entry point, and then once it launches publicly, then you can put more money in if you were part of this early group. So this is like one of the most fair launches I've seen. So that design also speaks very strongly to me, both like kind of as a philosophical, but also these kind of launches are great for projects when you are able to make it work. And so far they are super hyped. So good job to them. So I'll continue to cover this. If you are listening from Temple DAO, please like give me a chance, or just tell me like what you need help with. Explainers, right? I try to give kind of simple examples, right? I in my opinion, I think the easiest way for people to understand is it's a combination of Yearn and Olympus, right? Yearn generates yield. Olympus distributes yield fairly, right? So when you combine that, you have Temple DAO, right? Is a way to earn stable gains without too much effort and having that distributed to everyone evenly. So that's what it is, in my opinion, right? It's how I see it being best explained. But yeah, I think this project specifically will be a monster in Q4 of this year. Yeah, I do believe that very, very strongly. So I'm not just saying that because I have any position. In fact, I don't have any. So yeah, I hope that it's even a bigger testament to it. Okay, so that's Temple DAO. What else? Okay, let's do Q&As. And I did see someone wanted me to cover Lost Poets, right? So if you watch, I think my 4th latest TikTok video, right, for Lost Poets, yeah, so the claim period is another week, right? After that, Act 3 starts, where you can like discover rarities for your poets. You can start to consume the pages to enhance your poets. I think current price is around like 1 ETH, right? So it was like 1.3, 1.4-ish when claiming first started. So yeah, there's a bit of a dip. I haven't sold any yet. Just like I said in the video, I'm targeting around 3 ETH, which is like roughly a 10x from the mint, just basing on how Pack's previous drops did. Yeah, so haven't sold any. I don't plan to sell anymore until, let's say, 3 ETH, or at least until Act 3 starts in a week, and then we'll, reconvene and see what happens and see what kind of new features are released. But yeah, I don't think anything to worry about just yet, at least like not for me personally. So I'm still just holding. I converted half of them into poets and kept half as pages, because I don't know which is going to be the better play. But yeah, so that's what I see for Lost Poets. Many people speculate that we'll have one big correction before we go up. What do you think about that? What do you mean speculate? What's the reason? Do I just say it and then like it somehow has any like validity? I can speculate we will go to $1,000 and then 20K the next day. But if I don't have any data or reasoning, or not looking at the charts even, like what's the point in that? So that's completely, yeah, I don't think that's too healthy or too useful. What time do you expect Lost Poets to hit your price target of 3 ETH? I don't know. I don't know. This is why I say, Act 3, right? New feature releases will be really key to watch. So I don't know. I do hope it's sometime soon, right? In Act 3, when claiming stops and then like rarity starts to be revealed, and then there's more updates coming up. Okay, actually no, I do know. So they do plan to host their auction on Sotheby's. So that hasn't been announced yet, like for the specific date. I do think when that gets announced, it will be kind of a very hyped period for it. So maybe around then. I don't know when that will come, is what I'm saying, right? Because I don't have any insider information. If that comes tomorrow, I think we will see a huge price spike. If that comes a month from now, price probably will spike around then. So that's kind of what I see. Thought $70 next. Have a nice day, dude. Yeah, probably to be honest. End of year, I just don't see it not being like $100. Like that's pretty reasonable, I would say. Yeah. If crowd loans and parachains start, that is. Can you talk about your price target strategy with Hashim? I bought my first one today at 4 price. Overall macro view of NFTs during bear market. In a bear market, NFTs are going to be dead, most of them, because there's just too many bad ones. I don't think CryptoPunks are going anywhere. I'm not a particular fan of apes, but I get it. But yeah, I think in bear market, I'll pretty much only be accumulating punks. That's my plan. Target and strategy for hash masks. I do hold a lot. I think the floor is something like more reasonable to be between 5 and 10 ETH. 5 is conservatively, like if it gets once it gets to 5 ETH floor, I will start to consider if I might take profits. Well, my camera is lagging. The fuck? Where'd my camera go, bro? And 10 ETH is kind of like probably a for sure target that I'll start to take profits. So yeah, I think 5 ETH floor is pretty fair for Hashmaster project. FTT, good project. I meant dead cat bounce. Again, you have to look at the price, right? Like, yeah, you can say like dead cat bounce, you can say super cycle, or manipulation, or bottomed, but those are just buzzwords, right? What price level are you looking at for dead cat bounce? What is the bounce? At which point is it true? At which point is it invalidated, right? You have to give levels, not like just this is what people say. Because I can say Bitcoin super cycle for next 10 years, like, but really is okay. What what validates that and what invalidates that, right? So FTT is a good coin, yeah. Tezos, I don't know. I don't really do requests, no. I don't do like, I can chart it for you, but I can probably tell you already that it's not like most of the layer ones that we're looking at. Just because it's technically not a EVM compatible, like that kind of design. It doesn't have a working bridge yet, right? So chart's fine, right? Probably most likely because we are in an alt season, right? So we do have like higher lows being made here, right? And previous all-time high right around there, $7.60. But as you can see, this is another case of layer one that's lagging, right? Because it hasn't broken above the previous all-time high, right? And I would probably attribute this to the fact that it's not that popular right now. There's not many dApps built on there. They don't have a bridge. There's not much speculation. They don't have any liquidity mining incentive. Like unlike the other chains that are popular, like AVAX, Luna, Phantom, Cosmos, Solana, etc. Right. So yeah. So if you are just a diehard fan, there's nothing wrong with holding this because we're in an alt season, but I'm not putting this in the same category as those other ones that are in the trending narrative right now. Best play in all the market right now to buy, in your opinion, if you could only name one project, you sir, Temple DAO. It's Temple DAO, but you cannot buy it. It's very difficult to get in. So, and then you're gonna be like, oh, but like I cannot buy it on Coinbase, sir, please. Well, that's kind of that's what makes it the best project. Is you have to really dig deep and like put effort in to help the community in order to participate, right? So that's yeah. Spirit has been popping. Yeah, Spirit popped up today, so I might pick up more Spirit as well. Spirit is kind of the leading DEX in Phantom, so similar narrative as Joel, but not as strong yet. But it is something to watch. This Hurricane Swap, no, I haven't heard of it. No, there's like 10 swaps that are cross-chain on DEX, cross-chain DEXs on AVAX. So yeah, that sounds pretty bad, to be honest. Leadfoot. R market and KSM, I have both. I do think if you are in the substrate ecosystem, like it's time to start looking at DOT instead of KSM because the parachains are almost finished for KSM, the second batch. R market, I do have a lot of. What's your target price for Spell? Something like 10x. Yeah, like it should be similar market cap as Maker, right? So Maker is like 2 billion. Spell is 200, so 200 million. Could you see Pay Now going out since their product's almost ready? I could see that, yeah. They are technically in the Polkadot ecosystem. They're very involved in it. They do have plans to go for a parachain as well. So yeah, I could see it. And the team is a strong team, actually. The Bacon Farm reward stop, yes. It will have to be topped up. I am actually just in the process of deploying the new farm and the single farm on BSC. Very, very almost ready. I know I said this like last stream, but like I just have to make sure that it's done right. But yeah, so rewards will start right when BSC side is deployed, and then like so that they can be synced up. Been a while since you covered CRO. Haven't been paying attention to since some stake anyways. Have you got any updates? Just following Atom. CRO is kind of lagging. Yeah, like I really can't recommend CRO right now. It's quite not strong. It's doing a lot fundamentally, right, for the adoption, but that has to translate to price. If it doesn't, most likely it's something weird is going on in the back end. Have you come across Layer 0? Yes, I have. intend to go live next month with its omni-chain narrative. So this is one project that I missed out on. I wanted to get like a early allocation or something, but I really couldn't. Yeah, I can't really say I missed out, but since it hasn't launched, I don't think there's any way to get into it right now. But it is one of the like technically strong. Like they call themselves, even like in the name, layer 0, right? So like very cross-chain native layer. I haven't done enough research into it, so as you can tell, I can't speak about it too strongly. But from how they're positioned brand-wise and product-wise, yes, they fit the narrative really well with this multi-chain narrative. So when they launch, then when they launch, it's worth a look at for the price that they launched at, what their sale values were, and then if there's any opportunities then. But yeah, it's definitely a project to keep an eye on. Our market is still good buy right now. What is it like $4 something, $5 ish? So 50 million TDV, total diluted market cap. Yeah, I think that's undervalued. What's your play in the Moonriver ecosystem? I don't have any. If I were to really pick, it would be leading Dexes, so Solar Beam and Moonswap. But I'm kind of more interested in Dot right now to be positioned there early. Your views on Canary Birds, they're just NFTs, right? Like I got into it mostly for the tokens. That's why I've been selling a lot of the birds. Yeah. Thoughts on DAG Constellation? I've looked into it. They're kind of new, to be honest. Like just popped up. They have a lot of like I know some TikTokers really like it, probably because they're invested. Nothing wrong with that. I looking at market cap, looking at the exchanges this is on, it's decent, right? It's got the liquidity. Price performance has been good, but I don't really know like how they fit into any of the narratives. Like I haven't looked at it much, to be honest. So hope that answers your question, John. Yeah. So another one that like TikTok really likes is VXV, like vector space, I think it's called. Again, I have not heard of that vector space or Constellation from anyone else outside of TikTok, right? So this is what like makes me feel weird a little bit, because is it like actually popular within whole crypto, as in like stuff are building on it? I don't know. So that's why I feel weird about it. But again, like if you are in it, like I'm just saying, like I don't know much. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Yeah. But usually I ideally like to check my sources and like people that recommend it to me, like where is it being talked about across like different platforms, so then it's like not targeted show. And right now I don't know that yet. Yeah. Okay, see if we have any more questions. Arlo hopefully moves soon. Yeah. Ada and Solana, like both are good, right? They are making hard lows. It's just at current levels, I can't really limit my outside. That's the only thing. Anchor is a good project. Yeah, it's a good project. Do you see another big dump, or has the bull market started? For sure, man. Like, what the fuck do I tell you, man? I'm not responsible for whatever you do, and I don't see a big dump. But bull market, I cannot tell you that bull market has started for sure. So, good question, man. Completely useless question. Is Nervos a good project? Yeah, they've been around for a long time, ever since I think 2018. They started as a very popular mining project, but now they're quite integrated in kind of the Chinese ecosystem. Lots of projects in China build on them. Thoughts on Casper? Also interesting. I've heard of people that are in this and being excited for them. This is a case of like different sources. I heard of Casper from you guys now. I've heard of Casper from Twitter. I personally looked at Casper on the CoinList sale, so I know like they are pretty legit. Once there are a couple of those mentions, it's warrants a dig deeper. Usually is how I do it. So yeah, it is a layer 1. It is EVM compatible from as far as I can tell, as far as I remember. So narrative wise, it fits. Yeah. Then it's about valuation. Anything about ICP is kind of shit. Team dumped. What do you think about Wonderland Time? It's good. It is leading in the AVAX ecosystem. Daniel Sesta and his team, they're very good builders. So good project in that regard. If you're betting on the AVAX ecosystem and you understand Olympus, like it's basically an Olympus fork on the AVAX ecosystem, right? But that has just been the only use case for it for quite a while. So I think right now they're trying to build some sort of RPG game, which could be interesting. If you have time and you have it staked and you understand how it works, like you are not just betting on the price, instead you're staking it for the yield, then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. It is a strong project. Thoughts on Mina? So Mina is layer 1 that's has privacy built in. It is, I would say Mina and Casper are kind of layer 1s that could pop up. I think so. I think Mina even more so. Like Casper is a bit, it's not as unique. Mina is a privacy enabled by design, but also smart contract ecosystem. So good pick there. I don't know when. That's the main thing. It's like I don't know when either of these will pop up. I should probably add them to my watch list just so that I know when. But fundamentally speaking, they are in good positions, I would say. They can really play the narrative to their advantage for what the projects are, the time periods that they launched at, the valuations. Yeah. So definitely not a bad pick. I just don't know when. It's not trending right now. It might come though. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's about it for questions. Do you know what's so good on Stellar Network with just $2 million TVL? Why does it have such a high market cap? That's not true. It's not 2 million, dude. There's no way. Is it? Let me check. Where are you seeing this? Is it on CoinGecko? Because I know they're a bridge, right? And they do have quite a bit of liquidity, so I don't see how 2 million TVL is like able to have good liquidity there, but I could be wrong. Let me see. Seller. Yeah, where are you seeing the TVL? Is it? I'm pretty sure it's not 2 million. That would be way too small. My God, CoinGecko is lagging my computer again. I've been accumulating IMX in Permax. 3 million market cap, 60% on staking. Public team with Kyle Chassis from paid as advisor. Dude, wow, nice to show, man. Goodbye, sir. Block. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but like just like the way you said it, it's so clear as a show. Hi Dennis, can I ask you to check out a token without it being a show? Yeah, so if you want to join our Discord and like actually leave the project name there, and then like we can all like discuss it, not just like myself, and then you know that makes much more sense. Because if you just put me on the spot with a microcap and like you know I probably haven't heard of because it's so small, and then you want me to talk about it, it's clearly a show, and I'm just gonna block you. So but yeah, like if you want me to check it out, like I'm always down to check it out, right? whether that's a shit project, good project or not. Like, but just because I checked it out, just because I talk about it, doesn't mean like I have to chill it right when you talk about it. So yeah. Will SLP pump back up? Gotten late, but hoping AXS will continue to run up. I don't know. If you are in the AXI ecosystem, right? AXS is the token to be in, not SLP. SLP has high inflation. Like it's not. That's pretty clear. Like from the get go, right? Yeah. What was I going to talk about? I forgot. Thoughts on Mist? I don't know what that is. If you can, I'll look into it after. Do you think Dot Head and Shoulders will play out? I don't. There's no point in thinking, right? It's just we identify it, right? Like, you don't want to think like, oh, what do you think? What do you predict? Like, what's the point in that? The whole point of following a pattern like this is wait for confirmation. So does it matter? Like if it does this doesn't matter. Like, stop asking like what I think. If I don't tell myself what I think is useful, then why would I tell you that? Because that's not useful. I don't listen to what I think myself, right? I look at what's there on the chart and I wait. So you asking me for what I think so you can act is just like asking for yourself to be wrecked, because I don't trade that way. So why would you? So yeah, just watch this Head and Shoulders, right? If it breaks down below the neckline, then at this point, I think officially, because I know, because I see, right? And then on the other hand, breaks above resistance, now all of a sudden I think again, or the more accurate is I see it. Pattern has played out, then now I can act. What's the point of thinking in a, like, when the pattern isn't there yet, right? Don't think. That's a terrible way to go at it. It's like, if it hasn't happened, you just got to be patient, right? So I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want you to be misled and like wrecked, and you come back to me like, oh, you told me this. I did not tell you this, right? There's nothing to act on right now in the very short term. In the long term, yes, I can tell you that I think we should be in position in DOT, but in the short term, how to enter, nothing there yet, right? Oh shit, I didn't show the screen, sorry. But yeah, Dirk Diggler, yeah, I long term, or at least Q4, I can definitely say that watch DOT. It'll be a good pick. Short term, Head and Shoulders hasn't shown itself. Good chance CoinGecko and your browser will perform much better. I do have it, right? I use it on Brave, so it blocks everything. CoinGecko is instant for you. What? Maybe it is that then. Let me look into that. Thanks for the alpha there. CoinGecko has been super laggy for me. Love your analysis, very helpful lesson learning resource for a noob like me. Thanks, man. I kind of just have these calls to walk myself through the market as well, so that I keep a level head and know what's going on. Yeah, so I like to talk about things that make sense to me personally. So yeah, okay, I think that's it. Thanks guys for joining. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, so good time to cut it off there. You can check out the replay of this call on my YouTube as usual. I'll probably go live again on Sunday with Luke and Viper and all the other contributors from Bacon DAO. And then probably we'll do streams like every other day instead of every day. That'll be more practical, I think. So yeah, but the times will be the same, 12 p.m. PST or 7 p.m. UTC. Okay, that's it. See you guys on Sunday. Cheers. And Q4 DOT rotation. Yes, that's it. And yeah, markets are looking good. Hope you guys can all make some money. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.